Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this sparkly silver smoky eye look, which is perfect for if you have a special occasion. So let's get started. Now the first thing you want to do is prime the eyelids. Like always, I'm using the MAC Cosmetics paint pot in the color Soft Ochre. I'm applying this all over the eyelid and this will remove the redness and leave me with a nice clean canvas for all the eyeshadows. So if you don't have an eyeshadow primer, you can also use some concealer. Just make sure that it's not a super creamy concealer, but more on the drier side. Then for my waterline, I'm going to use this pencil, and this one is from YSL. I will put the name of the products I've used in the description bar. And if you can't find it, you can also comment down below and I will answer. But I'm going to apply this all the way in the waterline, and you don't have to start where I'm starting right now. You can also start with the eyeshadow, but sometimes I like to do it the other way around. And actually, to be honest, when I started this eye look, I wasn't quite sure what look I was going for, so I did know I wanted to do something smoky, so I just started with this and I just went from there. So applying it all the way in the waterline, quite a thick layer, and then I used my own palette that I created together with Sigma Beauty, which I still love, and I have a special playlist with all my videos where I use my palette. I believe it is like around 50 videos, so if you do have my palette and you don't have inspiration, you can find a lot of inspiration in this playlist. I will make sure to link it down. So I'm going to start with the color Levine, and I'm going to apply this all the way underneath the lower lash line, kind of on top of the waterline as well, to really like press the pencil into the skin and make it as long lasting as possible. Just with foundation, if you use a cream product and then set it with powder, it's gonna last more longer. And the same kind of goes with like the pencil in your waterline. It's a cream product, so if you lock it in place with some powder, it's gonna have like a more long lasting effect. So I'm just blending my brush back and forth. I want it to be as dark as possible, so I went in with a few layers. And then I kind of smudge it upwards, kind of where you would normally apply your wing liner. And I really like this technique because you can also just leave it like this and it will give like a really beautiful eye look. Just simple but kind of smoky, but nothing too crazy, nothing too complicated. You can apply some mascara, some lashes, and you're already finished. But we're not gonna go for that today. We're gonna be a little bit more dramatic. But I'm just being really careful, just smudging my brush back and forth. And then I went in with the color Cottage, which is a matte white shade. And I started applying this underneath the brow bone. Now I know some people prefer like a shimmery color for underneath the brow. I prefer a matte shade for underneath the brow. And the reason for that is because when I do use a shimmer underneath the brow, it kind of emphasizes like the tiny hairs on my skin. Now I do try to tweeze my brows as much as possible, but you know, you always have these like super tiny fuzzy hairs, and the eyeshadow just emphasizes this, which is not what I like. So I love a matte underbrow highlight. Then I used some brow gel, and then I went in with the color Concrete, and I'm just going to blend this all the way into my crease. This is going to be the first color, kind of what I would call my transition shade, the color that will make all the other colors that I'm going to blend more easily. I like to start with a light color and then just gradually build it up by going in with a darker and darker shades. But I'm just taking my time with this, going in with this color a few times until I'm happy with the color payoff, how it's looking. So now I added a little bit more, just sweeping my brush back and forth, nothing too crazy, just going from the inner corner to the outer corner. If you have troubles with blending, make sure that you have a nice soft blending brush. Now I went in with this silvery color, which is actually from the Huda Beauty, I believe it's called the Pretty Grunge palette, if I'm not mistaken, but I will make sure to put the name in the description. It's one of her latest palettes, so it's this silvery color. I'm just gonna blend this all over the eyelid using my fingers. I feel like with shimmery eyeshadows, your fingers works best. It gives the most color payoff. And then I use a tiny smudge brush from Sigma just to blend around the edges to make sure that it's nicely blended into the matte shade into my crease. So then I went in with the color Leon, and I'm going to use that for in my crease as well, using that same tiny pencil brush. I believe this brush is in collaboration with Samantha. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I believe she's called on YouTube Makeup by Samantha. I'm not really sure, but you can't really buy this brush like individually. But it's a really nice pencil brush, and they do have something similar in their current collection. Just make sure that's a tiny brush with kind of like a pointy tip so you can work a bit more precise. So I only wanted that color to be like directly into my crease to create kind of like more depth and more shadow. Then I used some silver glitter. You can use silver glitter from any brand, it doesn't matter. I used the one from RXY Cosmetics, but it's unfortunately not available anymore, but it's just a basic silver glitter. I believe NYX Cosmetics also has something like that. Then I use the Inglot Cosmetics black gel eyeliner. Love this one. And I'm using a Sigma Beauty angled brow brush, which is the E75, which is included in my brush kit, which I created together with Sigma, which I will link down as well. The brush kit contains all my favorite brushes for a special price, which is more affordable compared to buying the brushes separately. So I'm just gonna go for like a simple line above the lash line, nothing too like complicated. We're not going for like a wing liner today, so if you have hooded eyes and you do love eyeliner above the lash line, this one is for you. But you can also skip the eyeliner, of course, if you're not a fan of eyeliner in general. Then I used a little bit of the black eyeshadow right at the corner of the eye look to do kind of give it that wing liner effect, but it's actually not. But it will give like a subtle like smoky wing liner look. But what it does, it just connects the outer portion of your eyeliner where it normally stops with the lower lash line. It kind of combines everything together. And I really like it because it does kind of give you that effect, like I said, but just without the effort to make it look perfect, because all we're doing is just apply a dot of black and then just softly, carefully blending it out. Then I went in with the color Leon again, which is actually named by my dad. His name is Leon and his hair is gray, so I thought it would be funny to call this shade his name. So I'm blending this all the way underneath the lower lash line. I also used a little bit of the color Cottage in the inner corner, but apparently I didn't film that, but you can see that white highlights in the inner corner of the eye. That's the color Cottage. So I'm just sweeping my brush back and forth until I'm happy with how this, like the smoky situation is looking in this area. You can go in a few times. You can make it as dramatic and as low as you want. Then I went in with my MAC lash curler because it's time for mascara. We're done with the eyeshadow, so the eye look is almost completed. I used mascara from this one is from Lancome. Absolutely love this one. It's the Hypnose. And then I popped on some false lashes. And yeah, that's the final step. You don't have to do lashes if you're recreating this, but I do feel like, especially with that eye look like this, it just makes everything just complete. But yeah, I hope you all like this look. Let me know if you're gonna try it out, if this is something you would wear personally. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.